Neko, welcome to our humble abode here in Vernon, New Jersey. We have these nice purple chairs for us today. We're here at Mountain Creek for the Pro Downhill Series Round 2, but next weekend coming up is one of our favorite downhill Southeast rounds at Windrock, which you're going to be missing. And why is that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be at the World Cup. Windrock's cool, man. It's been the only stop that we've had every year of downhill Southeast. It's like the nucleus of downhill Southeast, I'll say.
One year you had it twice, right?
We did during COVID. Certain venues couldn't have events, so we just had a couple races at Windrock, and it turned out good. You know, they've got so many downhill tracks there that you could run completely different tracks that are unique and all very good downhill tests. So yeah, super excited to, I'll be watching from afar, but we've got a good lineup and good racers racing that one, so it should be exciting.
Right on. So let's talk about this weekend for a little bit since we're here. Pretty stacked for you because you do this, pack up, and then fly out. So yeah, how do you approach that?
Yeah, I had to do a lot of packing in advance because I'll go right from here over to Poland on Sunday after the race. Honestly, now that I'm here, I feel like more relaxed. It's more so the packing in advance to make sure I didn't forget anything. It's always like beginning of the season's the toughest to get all the spares and everything that we need for the World Cup season over there. Most of the stuff I try to coordinate shipping to Europe, but honestly, shipping in Europe is one of the most challenging things. Like, take it for granted that in the United States you can put something in a box and know it's going to get to where you send it. Over there,
you're crossing like 3 or 4 borders, different customs and everything.
Yeah, it's a bit challenging. So at least if I fly with it, I know I have it. So all the little spare stuff I've got packed and got a scale here, weigh all the boxes and make sure I've done that all in advance. So they're all pretty much ready to go. And then after the race here Saturday, we'll get everything dialed for our flight Sunday.
The bike you're racing here, are you taking it with you?
I will. Like I said, I won't be racing over there at all. I'll be there for the next 11 weeks. So it'll be pretty stacked and I'll be working for the team, just making sure my guys have everything they need. But I bring my downhill bike and my enduro bike. So I have bikes to ride. We'll have some off weeks in cool places. Like we'll have an off week in Andorra, an off week in Morzine, off week in Schladming. So it'd be nice to have my bike there, ride with the guys on my team.
Yeah. When you're over there and you're on these like midweek, like party laps per se, does the team, are they riding like their race bike or they have like a separate bike that they keep for those midweek rides?
So they have separate bikes. I tried to plan it last year, but we got all our stuff stolen after the first race.
There's that.
So we were super tight, but each rider on my team has a bike at home. They have then 2 bikes at the races in Europe. So one of them will be their race bike that they only ride during World Cups, and then a practice bike, I guess we'll call it, that on all those off weeks they can ride that. Most of the time it's raining in Europe too. Like when we went to Morzine, it rained every day. So you're just destroying your bike. And more so for our mechanics, it's tough to keep up with everything. They're doing a lot of bearing swaps and framing the bike and rebuilding it. So if they've got a practice bike that they can kind of rag out, then they can keep their race bikes fresher.
Nice. What are you flying over there with? Like, what's our tally? What's your score with United right now? And how are we looking?
Normally, I'm pretty good against United. It's when I got people flying with me that don't have status.
Yeah.
That creates more of a challenge. Myself, I can fly with three bags or boxes at 70 pounds. So normally that's 3 e-bike boxes with 70 pounds worth of parts in them.
You pretty much pack them full.
Yeah, and weigh them all up, and the boxes are lighter than bike bags, so I always use that and bigger. But I've got e-bikes to take, which is the challenging part. We're riding. Our team's sponsored by Specialized, so we use the new Levos, and they're kind of limited in their first launch, so we don't have as many as we'd like. We'll get our full order later this season, but for now, they just gave 1 bike for each rider. Normally, we'd have 1 here in the U.S. and 1 in Europe. So we did the video here to promote the bike around Rock Creek. So I've got all the bikes here. So taking them there is a bit of a challenge. Take the batteries out of them and
all that fun
fly
stuff
with them. So I've got 3 e-bikes plus my 2 bikes, which adds up to being quite a bit of stuff.
5 bikes.
5 bikes. I can distribute that between 4 boxes. I've got kind of laid out, and then some spares, spare frames, spare bearings. Best thing is like stuff that's allowed to go through a carry-on, like through TSA, like hard parts like bearings and stuff that's heavy. I've got this carry-on roller bag that's like 70 pounds now. So in the US, they never weigh your carry-on.
Yep.
So I just act tough and lift it up like it's light and don't let anybody else weigh it. And it's just the weight that kills you. So I try to put all the small heavy things in that and then distribute amongst the bike boxes.
Right on. We've got a couple other races on the calendar that unfortunately you'll be missing. We're really excited to get back to Beach Mountain. Moto Mike has been doing a phenomenal job at the course rebuild out there and just the park in general. Like he's posting early stuff right now on social and it's just looking like super buttery. So we're excited to get out that one and then the classic snowshoe.
Yeah, totally. I mean, these next 3 races, the last half of the season are kind of the core downhill southeast venues, like in the heart of our region, I'll say. Beach has been one that we've had off and on through the whole series. I think we've had like 4 races there in our series. The top half of that beach track is like one of the most fun sections. Like I love that upper wood section.
Oh yeah.
Is it Black Bear? Is that the name of it? I think
maybe
something like that.
Yeah.
I remember back when we had national champs there. That was the first time I rode it in 2011, I think. It was like 11 and 12 we had national champs at Beach. And Chris Herndon built the track back then. And I remember riding it and it was, so much fun. And it's kind of evolved and bedded in. And that top wood section is so much fun. I love it. And then the bottom section as well, like the big rock garden, is a real challenge. I'd say it's maybe not like the most fun section because it's really hard to carry speed through.
Yeah, it's kind of flat and it's like you really got to focus on getting over this stuff and catching backside on stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's a tough section, but a really good test for the race. So that'll be good. I've been in contact with Moto Mike. He's doing an awesome job prepping all the tracks up there. So it'll be cool. Get back up to the high country. It's always nice too. It like kind of tried to schedule it to where those races were in the summer. Where
we appreciate that.
It gets hotter. So going up there, like it's only 2 hours from where I live in Brevard, but it's normally like 15 degrees cooler when you get up there.
Such a difference.
So it should be nice. And then snowshoe as well is kind of the same sort of vibe where it's cooler up there in the mountains. And I don't know exactly the track layout for snowshoe. I'm guessing we'll be on the western side and probably racing some version of Pro DH and hairball. But yeah, that's a staple just because it's the only. Well, I guess Massanutten was a World Cup track 25 years ago or more. But it's the only like current World Cup track that we're racing in our series. So that's a good thing for the riders in our series to get to experience and kind of, they can watch. They've watched that race either in person or on TV, and then they get to race that course. So
yeah. Well, let's talk about Massanutten for a moment. Pretty good turnout. It's a rowdy track. Lots of challenges there. We had great weather for it, and everyone seemed to have a good time. I'm stoked on how the show came out. What was your take on the weekend?
It was classic Massanutten. There was not really much new on the track. They did a bunch of work to prep it. Like I thought it was really well prepped. They have a bigger crew there now. They were saying that they kind of restructured, and a lot of their snow park guys are working on bike park now. So they've got a solid crew of people to work on the bike park all summer. So they had the track running really good. There was, like, if you looked on the forecast before the weekend, it looked like rain every day, but it was a limited amount of rain, and it really just rained like
it just like a
overnight.
little like swipe of rain came over us and was like just enough to get you a little wet.
Yeah, it rained overnight on Friday night. I actually missed that Friday of practice. I had an obligation with some of the Fox suspension guys on Thursday, and I wasn't going to be able to leave till really late. So with all the stuff I had going on, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take my time and go there Friday, skip the practice. And that worked out fine. I've ridden Massanutten enough. Just hopped in on Saturday, followed Lucas for a few runs because he had been riding on Friday and kind of got up to speed. It was pretty greasy the first couple runs with that overnight rain. You had to, that whole track, even when it's not greasy, you just got to ride it so committed. Like if you really commit and carry speed over those rocks, it pays off. And if you don't, if you like are a little bit hesitant on them or don't like give it all you got, then it's really tough to carry speed and you kind of get hung up on stuff.
We saw that in some of the race runs where like, people didn't start out like heavy enough and it just slowed them down the further and further they got down the course. Yeah,
it's flat and there's not an opportunity to pick up your speed again. It's not steep enough, or it's tough that way. But no, the weekend I thought was really good. It's probably not the most fun trail to ride, but it turns out to be a really good race. And like when you do hit it well, it is fun. I'd say like the faster you go, the more fun it is. So race run, it almost feels easier when you're going fast. And I put together the best run that I could, and Crispy made a little mistake and I got him. So that was cool. I mean, it was fun. The past couple of races made these little challenges, like Sea Otter against Asa with the tattoo, and then we didn't really have anything on the line, but Crispy and I were just bantering. And
I mean, classic, you guys going back and forth. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm staying with him here too. We share it. We booked a place together, and even like this morning at breakfast, we're talking smack again. So
as you should.
It's fun. It keeps it good. And he's firing back too. So whenever he like gives me a jab, I'm like, dang, dude, I'm proud of you.
Crispy's growing up.
Didn't know you had it in you.
Yeah. Well, getting beat down by you for all these years, he's learned a little something.
Yeah. He's so good too. Like he's just got to put his race runs together a little better, but he's doing everything right. So it'll come together. Yeah.
We're stoked for him. Stoked to see him give you a good run for your money out there. Cause like, it's not like you won it easily.
No, I think like if it wasn't for him, he like ran wide into the bushes and then clipped his pedal on a rock pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one off camera, like the shot before the rock garden, you can see in the broadcast, you go over these roots and then it's like a pretty off camera turn. You can see him like slide out of shot. And I think there, if you watch his GoPro, he lost a lot of time. That's probably where it was. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, he probably would have had me, but clock doesn't lie.
Yep. All right. So looking at our Windrock race coming up, lots of race options out there. Downhill Southeast usually veers away from doing something that Tennessee National Track did. Have you talked with Aaron much on kind of what the race course is going to look like?
Yeah, Aaron sent me over his trail layouts, which was actually really similar to last year. It'll start out on that top section, like the beginning of the Tennessee National Track. We used to call that trail Start and Shit, but I don't think they can call it that anymore in their new bike park. I think it's Trail 1. And then it cuts across when it crosses Talladega, or the Blue Trail, or whatever they have. It'll go into Snake Rock, which is like that flat upper rock garden, that tight one with the big boulder next to it. Across to Caveman, and then the Cat 2-3s will do Snake Rock, and the Pros will do Caveman. And then it'll connect into that new lower section of the new like Red Bull Ravine all the way to the bottom from Tennessee National. So
cool.
Probably end up being like almost half of Tennessee National, like the first 20 seconds and then the whole ravine.
Yeah.
And then the middle section will just be on that other side of the mountain doing Caveman, which is
nice.
One of the consistently steeper tracks. So it'll actually be interesting because it'll be like some flatter sections to get to it and then really steep middle and then the ravine, which is more like machine built at the bottom.
Yeah. And probably not taking it all the way down to the shuttle pickup again, are we?
No, we're going to finish the same as Tennessee National.
Cool.
So I think that'll be good.
Yeah. Some of the racers were pretty gassed on that pedal getting all the way down the shuttle road.
Yeah. I think they'll remember back to that 24 downhill Southeast as being a unique one at Windrock.
Yeah. And it was also brutally hot. Well, Aaron is here, so maybe let's check in with him and get some like venue details.
Yeah, you should check with Aaron on the exact public details. I'm sure racers can probably ride as well. But just with so many trail crossings, and the shuttle situation, it's easier to focus on a good experience for the racers.
Yeah,
I think that's the idea with that. We'll do the pit spaces again, so you can book your pit space, leave it, and have a spot that you can keep your stuff all weekend. We try to do that at all the venues that we can. Macedon was probably the only one in our series that we couldn't really offer a better pit space that you'd you'd pay for than what you can show up and kind of first come, first serve. So, but the rest of them, we try to keep it somewhat affordable. That way it's just like a nice thing for people that teams and riders that are taking it seriously can have a dedicated pit space. So we'll do that for Windrock. Aside from that, I mean, there's nothing crazy. Like Windrock's a established park. I think everybody knows what to expect out there on the venue side.
For those that might be somewhat new to it, walk us through kind of the schedule.
We'll be on the Downhill Southeast schedule that we've run at the first 2 races, which is just like a 9 to 6 day.
Still saying 9 to 6?
Fuck, I should ask Logan. I mean, every time I do this, I announce it and then Logan's mad. Can I call him right now? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Hello.
Logan, I'm going to do the podcast now. Is the Windrock schedule 9 to 6 or 8 to 5?
I have not confirmed with Aaron.
Okay, so we'll ask Aaron.
I'll call him quick, or do you want to call him?
I'll call him.
Yo,
dude. Hey, I'm with Mangler recording a quick thing about the Downhill Southeast next week. Is it all right if we do the 9 to 6 schedule for the day?
Like 9 in the morning to 6 in the evening?
Yeah, it would either be like 8 to 5 or 9 to 6, depending on what your staff prefers.
Yeah, I feel like 9 to 6 should be okay since we got the daylight.
Yeah, that's what I would suggest if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay, perfect, dude. I'll see you over there.
All right. So there we have it.
So we'll be on the 9 to 6 schedule, which I think everybody likes better. Start a little bit later, and then we got the daylight, so might as well go to 6.
Cool. Right on. Schedule-wise for the groups?
Yep. So A will be 9 to 1:30, and B will be 1:30 to 6.
Group BC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we really haven't split them anymore, so it's kind of just A and B. It'll be like Cat 1s and Pros will be 9 to 1:30, and then the Cat 2-3s will all be from 1:30 to 6.
Cool.
First practice day. And then on Saturday, it'll be 9 to 12:30 for the Cat 1s and Pros, and then 12:30 to 4, and then the seating will start at 4:15 for the Cat 1s and Pros.
Cool. And then race day will be condensed practices in the morning.
It'll just be 9 to 10 for the Cat 1s and Pros, get 2 laps in, and then 10 to 11 for the Cat 2-3s, and we'll start at 11:15.
Right on.
Get it done. Get everybody, get their podiums through, and then get them on the road home. That's something that we try to focus on at Downhill Southeast, is like wrapping it up. That way, everybody that commits to driving, I respect a lot of people drive decent distance to come to our races, and if they can get home in a decent hour after the race, and most people are doing this as a hobby, they can go to work the next day.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Absolutely does. Anything else we need to catch up on?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Neko, thanks a lot for stopping by, giving us an update on the next Downhill Southeast. Good luck to the Frameworks team. You have a big squad pulling for you back home, and we'll be watching you on as free as we can of web broadcasts.
Sounds good. I really appreciate it. I brought my my little portable microphone, so if we got to do the update for the next 2 races, try to make these informative short podcasts. People can listen to them, get a little bit of details on the race they're going to, even if they listen to it just while they're driving there.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to hop on, and we can do them for the next 2 as well.
Right on. Well, cool. Appreciate it, dude.
Thank you.